so now then we're going to change the directions, and they are right as a single log. Now guys, the properties of logs don't change. The only difference about this is it looks a little different because I'm writing ln. But all it is, if you could rewrite ln as log base e, that's it. It's just written differently. So for number 1, we've got ln, the natural log of 3, plus the natural log of 4. The properties, I think it's going to get easier and easier now, actually, because you're used to seeing it. When you add logs, what do you actually do? Properties multiply. So this is asking for the natural log of 12. But you don't have to go any farther because I'm not asking for the answer. Right? The directions will right as a single log. If you needed an answer, you can type this in the calculator because you already know the base. Okay? So this can be solved, but it didn't ask for that. Number 2. 2 times the natural log of 3 plus the natural log of 5. Your calculator will find a natural log. Okay? So the property here, but for now it's asking just to write as a single, not answer the problem. So this becomes the exponent. So I've got the natural log of 3 squared times 5, because plus means times. So 9 times 5 is 45. So the natural log of 45 in terms of 1. Number 3. You're asking for the natural log of 8 minus 1/3 times the natural log of 27. First thing I would do is take the 1/3 and turn it into the exponent, right? So this would be, you want 27 to the 1/3 power, or the cube root of 27. So you've got the natural log of 8 minus the natural log of 3. Subtraction means division. So you have the natural log of 8 divided by 3. And you can just leave it like that because that's what it was asking for. Okay, number 4 and 5, add 1 piece to that. So you can put a star by number 4. And it's 3 times the natural log of 2 minus the natural log of 4 minus 1. And just like with logs, we've studied this section before. The first 2 parts are fine. It's the 1 that doesn't fit in, right? It doesn't belong. So let's go ahead and think about, I need to change that 1, okay, into something. So let's clean this part up first. This is the same as the natural log of 2 to the 3rd power, which is 8. Right, minus the natural log of 4 minus 1. This becomes what value? A minus is divide, right? So 8 divided by 4. This is the natural log of 2 minus 1. It's the 1 that needs to be fixed. Just like before, what you do is, I know this needs to say the natural log. So draw yourself a little note. We'll come over here and figure out how to do it. I want the natural log to equal 1. Now, because we're learning, what is the base of a natural log? We don't write it, but what is it? E. So I want e to the 1st power to equal how much? What's e to the 1st power? E. So you got the natural log of 2 minus, and we're going to write the natural log of e. And let's check this and make sure if we think it equals 1. Okay, is the natural log of e 1? Well, there's an imaginary e there that's not written. What exponent gets me from e to e? 1. It works. I'll say that again. I want to make sure the natural log of e is actually 1. Okay? And you can check the base of a natural log is e. So what exponent? Finding a log is finding an exponent, right? So what exponent gets me from e to e? E to the 1st power. So minus means we're going to divide. So this is just the natural log of 2 divided by e. Okay, on that same note, I'll let you try one on your own and see if you understand that part. So for number 5, if I ask you for the natural log of 7 plus 4, give that one a shot. The natural log of 7 plus 4. Okay, so we have to rewrite 4. By now you might have already noticed, if the value is 4 and you're talking about a natural log, 4 is just the exponent. Okay, so what I mean by that is if I want to rewrite this, I want to say the natural log, it has a base of e, right? We just don't write it. What do I want that to equal? I want to equal 4. So what needs to go here? E to the 4th. Okay, because those are going to cancel. So what I really have is the natural log of 7 plus the natural log of e to the 4th. The 4 goes in front though, right? And what does a plus mean? Multiply. Okay? So if you take these two together, what you end up with is the natural log of 7 times e to the 4th. But the 4 goes in front. So the final answer will look like this. Now remember, you don't have to do every step. You can do whatever just feels comfortable for you. Okay, now that we're going to change the directions. The directions are going to be to solve. Number 1, the natural log of x equals 4. Now is where you get to use your calculator. Think about this for a second, guys. Okay, I know the base of this is e. What's the exponent? 4. So what I'm asking is e to the 4th power equals how much? In other words, if something grows 4 years or 4 days or 4 minutes or 4 seconds, how much does it grow? How many times bigger is it? Well, your calculator has this on it. If you find on your calculator, okay, there's several ways to do it. One way is to look by the 7 key. Okay, well, just write down from the 7 above the ln. You see e to the x power. That's one way to do it. The other way is there's an e all by itself above the division key. So if you just want to represent e, you can use the thing above the division key. If you want to do this particular problem, you do second ln and then type the 4. So what's the answer? 54, right. So it's 54.6 what? Okay? So x equals 54.6. Number 2. The natural log of x equals 1/3. What I'm saying there is that if you do circle math, e to the 1/3 power gives me what? So e to the 1/3 is how much? In other words, if something grows for 1/3 of a second or 1/3 of a year, 1/3 of an hour, how many times greater is it? 1.40 or so? Yeah. Number 3. The natural log of 1 over x equals 3. Okay, there's a couple different ways to do this. Okay. You can change this to x -1. Okay? Or you can leave it like it is. If you want to leave it, then you just say e to the 3rd power equals 1 over x. Now, it looks like you have 2 variables, but you don't, because e is a number. Okay? It's like pi. Pi's not a variable, it's 3. Okay? E is not a variable either, it's 2.7. So, what you have here, if I'm trying to solve for x, the problem is x is in the denominator. Okay, so if you multiply this side by x, it will cancel and you get 1, and multiply this side by x. So So you have e cubed x equals 1. Now what do you have to do to both sides? Divide by what? E cubed. So the answer is 1 divided by e cubed. That's one way to do it. If you're really kind of a more mathy person, I don't know if you see this or not, it's kind of a cool trick. It just depends on what you like. I personally like to just flip them both. You're allowed to just flip both if you want to solve it. So I would have done 1 over e cubed equals x over 1, or x. That's one way to do it as well. So what's x here, guys? Number 4. The natural log of x plus 3 equals negative 2. I'm solving for x. I know the base, I know the exponent. I don't know all of the answer. So what I'm saying here, there's an imaginary e written. I know e to the negative 2 power gives me x plus 3. You do circle math, right? So I need e to the negative 2 minus 3 to give me x. So if you type this in your calculator, be careful when you type this in. Be sure the negative 3 is down the bottom. So if you did it correctly, you might try to be sure able to get these answers. You get negative 2.86. Sometimes the calculator can be harder to manipulate. Number 5. The natural log of cube root of x equals 2. If I'm trying to find a log, I think you should change this to x to the 1/3 power. Anytime when you're dealing with logs, if you want to rewrite cube roots or square roots with a power, it makes the problem a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as the natural log of x to the 1/3 equaling 2, which means e squared equals x to the 1/3 power. You do circle math. How do you, if I'm solving for x, to get x alone, how do I get rid of a 1/3 power?
Cube.
Yeah, raise it to the third. Cube it. So then this means you want e to the 6th is x, which has a value. You can, I should write down the actual value. It didn't want e to the 6th, it wants the answer. So it's 403.
Whenever you round, does it like matter how far?
100th is the best. Okay, now we're gonna change gears one more time to do solve. We have 4 problems left and we're done. If e to the x equals 2. Okay, I'm looking for an exponent. What do we do when you're trying to get an exponent down? What do you do to both sides? Log. But what, instead of logging, since we have an e, we're going to take the natural log. Okay? So you're going to take the natural log of both sides. The rules are exactly the same. So you're going to take the natural log of e to the x power equals the natural log of 2. I just logged both sides, basically. What happens to this x? It's pushed into the front. Excellent. Okay? So it's pushed to the front, so I've got x, natural log of e equals the natural log of 2. Okay, get your calculators out. Be sure you can do this one on your calculator. So if I'm solving for x, I have to divide both sides by the natural log of e, right? So x equals, okay, in your calculator, find the natural log, hit 2, and close the parenthesis. Now, to find the natural log of e, you're going to type in the natural log, and then I think above the division key, is that where the e is?
Yes.
Okay, so the e is above the division key. It's like using the pi key.
Oh, I just saw Ellen. You did?
Ellen is the log. We've done
Clock out.
4 problems with it.
I've just been logging.
Okay, so now you'll take the natural log of 2 divided by the natural log of e. Did you find them on your calculator?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not finding it, then this is how you're gonna do it. You take the natural log, which is ln, and then 2, close your parentheses. Now you're going to find the natural log of e, so do ln again, which is right by the 7 and the 4. Thank you. Divided by the natural log of e, and e is above the division key in blue, so second divide, close parentheses. Okay, so you end up with, what did we get?
169.
Okay. Now, go to number 2. Try it again. Use your calculator so that you're understanding how. I'm solving for x. X is an exponent. Right? If x is an exponent, to push it down to solve, you log both sides. Well, this is a base e, so we have a natural log both sides. So ln e to the negative x equals the natural log of 4, which pushes the negative x in front. So negative x, natural log of e equals the natural log of 4. What are you going to do to both sides? Divide by the natural log of e. So negative x equals, and try it on your calculator, the natural log of 4 divided by the natural log of e. You should get 1.39, but then because x was negative, the answer is negative 1.39.
So there's no difference on these answers being negative.
No, I'm asking for x. We're finding an exponent. We're not finding a number that follows the log. The rule is still the same, you're exactly right. So if you were looking for something like this, and you found x, and x was negative 10, there would be no solution. Good question. The rules are exactly the same. The only difference is you have a log with a base of 2. That's basically what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? It just looks funny. But when I'm asking for natural log, I'm saying you got a log with a base of 2.7 instead of 5 or 8 or 10 or 15. Right, number 3. We have 3 and 4. E to the 2x equals 6. Try that one. It's just every problem is saying 2.7 to what power gives you the answer. 2.7 what power gives you the answer. Because it appears so much everywhere, it just has its own name. And if that's all you're ever dealing with, you're just used to putting ln. But because we deal with everything in Algebra 2, we're not a scientist only studying rows and K, you know. We're just showing you how it's used everywhere.
As the next one.
So this is going to be then 2x natural log. What?
Is the next one get a stop?
Divide both sides by the natural log of e first. What is the natural log of e?
0.7. No,
It's 1.
it's 1.
Every time we're dividing by the natural log of e, what are we dividing by? When I ask you what is the natural log of e, I'm asking you what exponent gets me from e to e. What is it? 1. So you don't technically ever have to divide by the natural log of e, you're just dividing by 1. But, I mean, if you don't see it, then. So 2x equals, what is it, 1 point? I only have the final, sorry. So it's 0.90? Okay. Okay, last problem and you're done. 4e to the 3x power minus 3 equals 29. It's a little bit like the bonus on the quiz. What do you think my first step would be? Move the 3. So 4e to the 3x equals,
2.
now divide both sides by 4. So e to the 3x equals 8. Now to push the 3x in front, we'll take the natural log of both sides. And again, what's the value of the natural log of e? I'm asking what exponent gets me from e to e? 1, right? So divide both sides by the natural log of e, and 3x is going to give you, what is natural log of 8, guys? 2 point what? Okay, divided by 3 gives you 0.6. Okay, so now you can work on your practice paper.
It's a little hard.